I'm just going to get started on a bit of an intro here because I'm really excited to pass the mic over to Justyn. There's a great presentation ready for all of you. So as you're joining, please let us know in the chat where in the world you're joining from. And then please let us know in the poll what your level of experience with Pinterest marketing is. So if you are new here, I am Sam. I have the pleasure of moderating this webinar series. And when I'm not doing that, I host my own community called The Freedom Lifestyle. It's a podcast, it's an online community, all for people who want to live and travel all around the world and do so sustainably. And so, Justyn's content and story today is really exciting for me because a lot of it really resonates. If you don't know Justyn's story, so Justyn Gourdin is a Pinterest guru. And 8 years ago, Justyn dropped out of university to travel the world for what she thought would be a fun year abroad. Very quickly, this turned into 2 years of full-time travel with very little income coming in, couch surfing around the world. It was in this period where Justyn decided to become a virtual assistant, which very quickly became a full-blown Pinterest marketing company for businesses and bloggers around the world. Now Justyn's able to travel while her blog, affiliate income, and business grows, all thanks to Pinterest, which is why we are so passionate to be talking about what we are talking about today. So welcome, Justyn.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you here and such an amazing journey. So are you traveling still full-time now and have these multiple revenue streams?
Yeah, so I'm currently traveling the US in a converted Sprinter van, which is why Wyoming is a bit of just where we ended up yesterday. So yeah, like Pinterest has been such an incredible tool to help me transition to traveling in the van and have income to be able to keep doing these adventures. So I'm so excited to share it with you guys today.
Amazing. Well, we're very lucky to have you. Please, if you have any questions for Justyn, we are going to do some Q&A at the end. So you'll see there's a chat box, but there's also a Q&A box. Put your questions for Justyn there, and then I'll come back at the end. We'll do a bit of a fireside chat with some of the top questions that get asked throughout. If this is your first time joining one of our webinars, these are put on by SafetyWing. And SafetyWing has a vision of creating a global social safety net for remote workers and nomads. Just like Justyn and I, we imagine many of you are joining this because you already are traveling and working from around the world, or maybe you aspire to. And so SafetyWing is creating a suite of products for all of us in mind, and really has a mission of becoming your new home country on the internet. One of our fastest growing products is Nomad Insurance, which has over 100,000 customers around the world. It provides you affordable health and medical coverage whenever you are traveling outside of your home country. And so that's the product we're most known for. It works just like your favorite subscriptions, one monthly fee every month, no matter whether you're traveling to 2 countries that month or 2 states in Justyn's case, or you're traveling to 10, depending on your lifestyle. So that's a little bit about us, and stick around to the end where we'll talk a little bit more about how you can get involved with SafetyWing as well. So on that note, I'm going to pass things over to you, Justyn.
Thank you. All right.
And let's do the end of this poll. Let's see what people were saying while you were getting this up. Okay.
Perfect.
So you got a mix here of beginners and intermediates.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, this is great. This means that I've got content for everyone. If you are a beginner on Pinterest, the beginning of this class is going to help you really set up your profile for success. And if you're an intermediate, don't worry, stick around because I'm going to be sharing strategies that have been really helping to skyrocket my clients this year and myself. So there's a lot of things for everyone. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much for that introduction, Sam. I am so excited to be here. You should just do all my introductions going forward because that was great. So I'm Justyn. Welcome. If you haven't already, you probably figured out that we're going to be talking about Pinterest today. We're going to be talking about what it is and why it is important, especially if you want to make money online, and that is the real juice. So before I get into all of that, I actually just wanted to give a little bit of a recap. So I'm Justyn. I just passed 9 years of full-time travel, which is so crazy. It turns into such a whirlwind. And like Sam said, when I first started traveling, it was just on savings. I was using my savings, I was couch surfing, I would volunteer, whatever I could do to get somewhere cheap to stay where I didn't have to spend too much money because I wasn't making any money. I had started a travel blog, but as many of you probably know, travel blogging is not a lucrative career when you're first starting out. It takes time. So I started working as a freelance writer and virtual assistant for other bloggers who were already growing at the time. And it was during this time that I sort of just fell into Pinterest. I was working as a virtual assistant and I was helping to manage a friend's Pinterest account, and it kind of snowballed from there. So fast forward to today, I work with businesses around the world. I've helped apps, travel companies, and bloggers to grow a successful Pinterest profile. We've used the platform to generate money so that they can keep chasing their dreams, which allows me to keep chasing my dreams. So for today's class, we are going to talk about, oh, sorry, this is about me. For today's class, we're going to talk about how to set up your Pinterest profile for success. We're going to talk about the different types of pins and how each of those pins is going to help you grow, and which ones of those pins are going to be the most important for affiliate marketing. Then I will share with you guys how to use affiliates to make money on Pinterest. It's relatively new to be able to share affiliate links on Pinterest. They have started to add more capabilities to allow us to make money on the platform, which is just really exciting. And then, of course, I'm going to share 3 strategies that are going to help you stand out above the noise. And I threw in a bonus strategy for you guys to really help when it comes to making money on Pinterest, and specifically around your affiliates, because as Sam said at the beginning of this, we're going to talk a little bit about the SafetyWing affiliate and how incredible it is to be able to make money while you're traveling, sharing products that you love. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what Pinterest is. So thank you for sharing in the poll. It's good to see that you guys have either beginner or intermediate on the platform. We've got a good mix of both. So Pinterest is a very fast growing platform. It has 450 million active users. And what that means is there's just bound to be a lot of noise on the platform. So in this class, I really want to talk to you guys about how you can stand out and how you can be above the noise, how you can get noticed. So first of all, Pinterest used to get lumped in with social media. And while in a way it's like a social media account, we actually want to use it more like a search engine. Because let's face it, no one is really being social on Pinterest in the same way that they're being social on like Facebook or Instagram, or just, catching up with friends and family. That's not what we use the platform for. When it comes to platforms that we're on, Pinterest is actually the 14th largest social platform in the world, and users have increased in 2022. So it's still a platform that more and more people are turning towards. I get a question a lot. People say, is Pinterest dead? I can't grow on Pinterest. Is Pinterest not the same as it used to be? Of course, it's not the same as it used to be, but it's still a growing platform, so it's still really valuable to be on. Pinterest is mainly used for search, and for the most part, our pinners are planners. They're looking towards the future. So whether that's remodeling a house, or planning for their wedding, or honestly just looking for dinner tonight, or of course, preparing to go on vacation. Today, we're going to be focusing on the travel or vacation aspect of Pinterest because we want to talk about sharing affiliates as digital nomads. We want to talk about sharing a traveler insurance as an affiliate. So of course, we're going to focus on travel, which I hope is why you guys are here. We all love to travel. So the thing that people love about Pinterest, and the reason it is important when it comes to being an affiliate marketing platform, is that Pinterest users tend to have a higher income level than other platforms. And in a recent study that Pinterest put out, it actually said that 75% of weekly Pinterest users said that they shop on the platform, which is pretty insane. That's a really high percentage of people coming to a platform specifically to shop. We also know that trends on Pinterest take off 20% faster in the first 6 months than trends on other platforms. And for what this means for you guys is you can identify and capitalize on emerging trends, and you can be ahead of the curve in terms of cultural relevance for your audience and also for the brands that you're recommending. Then another trend statistic that I love is that the trends on Pinterest sustain 21% longer than other platforms. So if you see a trend on TikTok and you're like, wow, that took off really quickly, but now it's gone. That trend on Pinterest is going to sustain itself for 21% longer and will grow for 21% longer than that platform would on TikTok or Instagram. So you have a lot more time on Pinterest. Um, so this is especially important for those of us who are just starting out, those of us who don't have much of an online presence on Pinterest, because this basically means that you get to leverage this platform as a long-term platform, and you can use it to research and predict future trends, which you're going to then use to write your blog posts and to find new affiliates to promote in the future. Lastly, Pinterest has a predominantly female user base, with 51% of Pinterest users being women. However, what that means is men is the fastest growing user base on Pinterest. So keep that in mind as you're pinning. If you've always had a very female looking brand, if you've always used very girly colors, however you are branding yourself on Pinterest, this might be a good time to neutralize a little bit and kind of cast a net for the men that are starting to use the platform more and more. So talking about how to use the platform, Pinterest is predominantly a search engine. When users go onto Pinterest to start planning their trip, they're going to head straight to the search bar and they're going to look for ways to find cheap flights, travel essentials, packing guides. What are they going to do while they're on this trip? This is where you come in. You want your content to show up as high as possible in search results, just like you see on Google. So how do you do that? Well, Pinterest is all about SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. And I know that term can come across as scary for some people, but it really shouldn't. We are going to simplify it today. We're going to talk about it in terms that just make sense, and hopefully that you guys will be able to walk away from with a good understanding. So search engine optimization just means that you are using the search engine, in this case Pinterest, to your advantage. And that is to hopefully rank the highest in search results. For example, those first few pins on Pinterest when the user starts planning their trip. So what exactly are keywords? I am going to steal the definition, borrow the definition from Moz.com, because I think that they have just nailed it. They've said that keywords are ideas and topics that define what your content is about. In terms of SEO, they are the words and phrases that searchers, in our case pinners, are entering into a search engine, on this case Pinterest, and that can also be called a search query. So if you want to use Pinterest to promote your affiliate links, and in this case, if you wanted to use Pinterest to promote a SafetyWing affiliate link, which is a digital nomad traveler's insurance, you're going to go into the search bar on Pinterest and you're going to think of what people are searching for. For example, are they searching for things like traveler's insurance or travel essentials for digital nomads? Or maybe they are literally searching for digital nomad insurance. Those are your keywords. They are what the user is searching for. So how can you find keywords on Pinterest? It's pretty easy. You're just going to pretend that you are your ideal user. So you're going to play user and you're going to go looking for them. Anytime you're trying to find keywords, you can use search engines to just tell you what they are. It really can be very simple. Go to your favorite search engine, whether that's Google, Pinterest, or even YouTube, and type in your topic into the search bar. All of the recommended results that I've shown you here are your keywords. So I searched for travel insurance. That means travel insurance tips, travel insurance best, so best travel insurance quotes. Those are all things that people have come to Pinterest to search for in terms of travel insurance. So those are your top keywords. Write those down and keep them in mind for when you're planning your content. Then below that is what we have as search results. So when I say show up the highest in search results, you want to be on that top line or that second line of pictures. You want your pins to be pushing up above everyone else's, because let's face it, you usually click on the search result that matches you the soonest. So you're not going to scroll and scroll and scroll and see what's on the bottom of Pinterest when you're looking for a search result. You're going to go, oh, okay, the second result, that appeals to me, that answers my question. I'm going to click on that. So you want your pins, which are your content, to show up as high in the search results as they possibly can. So that is how we can find keywords on Pinterest. And now let's talk about your Pinterest SEO strategy. Now that you know how to find keywords, you need to know where to put them. But I'm going to tell you right now, please, please do not keyword stuff. Keyword stuffing is an outdated strategy, and it's really not going to help you grow. Keyword stuffing is when you dump your keywords everywhere. And people, I will call myself out, included in that, we used to do this a lot on Pinterest. We would fill our entire Pinterest description, all of our boards, all of our pins, we would just put the keywords everywhere. And that is not a strategy I teach or practice anymore. So please do not do that. Algorithms are smart, and the Pinterest algorithm is smart, and they can see through that strategy. So just don't do it. Trust me on that. But when you do it, you're not creating with your ideal reader or shopper in mind. No one wants to go to your profile and read travel blogger, travel blogger, travel blogger everywhere. No one wants to go to your pin and just read insurance, insurance, insurance. That is the opposite of creating for your user. That is when you're trying to create to game the algorithm. So you're creating for the computer. If you want to grow on Pinterest, you want to create content for the user that Pinterest is going to know is valuable, and then they are therefore going to share more. And please, whatever you do, no matter who tells you to do this, do not put keywords in your alt tags unless they truly make sense there. Pinterest is a platform that prides itself on being inclusive. And being inclusive for them also means being able to be read by screen readers. So when you take your alt text, which is meant to be read by screen readers, and you just stuff it with keywords, it's really going to put a barrier between how useful you're being for Pinterest and how useful you're being for their users. So that's my little SEO rant over. Let's talk now about how we can usefully use SEO for your Pinterest account and for your own power on Pinterest. So there are 5 places that you need to think about SEO, think about keywords when you're on Pinterest. Number 1 is your username. That is where you're going to share who you are and briefly what you're about. Then there is your bio, the bit of text underneath your username. That space is where you can tell people, users, as well as Pinterest, what you are all about, what your content is going to be serving them for. Then we have hashtags. Hashtags are used on Pinterest to help content get categorized and searched. And then there's descriptions. When I say descriptions, I mean pin descriptions. This is the place to list your contents keywords, and then your boards. And your board descriptions are where you're going to list your board keywords, explaining to people what your boards are about. So whether you're brand new to Pinterest or you've been around for a while, you want to make sure that you're setting your profile up for success. Now, there are a few main things to note. You have your cover image up at the top, and then you have your profile image. And then you can see this is my Pinterest account for you guys. You can see that my website is linked, and there's a little globe icon with a check mark that just shows you that Pinterest has verified my website. And then you have your name and your description and all those things I just explained. So in order to have your website linked in your profile, you need to have a business account. So step 1 to optimizing your profile is always to get a business account on Pinterest. It is totally free to do. Anyone can set up a business profile. It takes only a few minutes to set up, and you can link your website. You can connect your Shopify if you have a store, and you can be able to fully customize your profile and see analytics. So having a business profile is very important. Now, on the note of business profiles, one question that I get asked all the time is, should I create a new profile, or should I simply convert my personal profile that I've already been using into a business profile? Now, when it comes to this question, I usually lean towards converting your personal account into a business profile. And the reason I recommend this is because with a personal account, you are likely already established on the platform. You might have some followers, albeit they probably aren't for your niche or for what your business is about, but you still have some followers there. You're also already going to have content set up, and Pinterest is going to know who you are on the platform more. You've got a little bit more trust built up. So I always recommend converting your profile. But converting your profile also means you're going to need to clean it up. You want to hide all of your personal boards. You want to hide all of your personal pins, and you can do this very easily by just making boards secret. When you make boards secret, it just hides them from what people can see on your public profile. And this is one of my favorite things about Pinterest, because I'm a big Pinterest user. Aside from being a Pinterest marketer, I use the platform to plan all of my trips, all of my dinners, everything that I plan on Pinterest. So I have hidden boards. I would actually be embarrassed to show you all of the boards I have hidden on my profile because it is a lot, but it won't affect your growth. So feel free to convert your personal account into a business account and turn all of your personal boards secret and still use them all the time. You're just pinning to a secret board that can't be seen on your profile. It is amazing. It's definitely a little secret weapon. So keep it simple when it comes to your profile strategy. Put your keywords, choose them well, research them, and put them in straightforward places. When it comes to your username, just like what I've done here, I am Justyn Jen. That is my blog, that is my business, and I am a travel blogger. I've kept it really simple. It tells you exactly who I am, and it tells you a quick little thing about what I do. With your bio, it can be really long, so you can make that as long as you want, but whatever you do, don't put a link that people are going to have to copy and paste in your bio. This is why you need to claim your website and set up a business account. And then when it comes to your boards, you can have as many boards as you want, and those boards are where you're going to be putting all of your keywords. Like I said, you can have all of the pins that you want with your keywords. So the last thing about your profile that I want to share with you guys is what I call spring cleaning. I recommend going through your profile 2 times a year, if you have the time, and spring clean it. For myself and each of my clients, I typically go through and clean up all of their boards. I'll update keywords, and I will use this time to make sure that no links are broken. So I'll go and click on their pins and make sure that no links are broken. Now, this is going to take a bit of time, but it's helpful to refresh where you are on the platform, and it helps to make sure that you're staying relevant. Updating your keywords is such an important strategy on Pinterest. So during this spring clean, you also want to evaluate your content. Do you have a certain pin design that's outperforming everything else? Or maybe you have a pin that's totally flopped. You don't want to delete it, but you can stop using that design and make room for something new. The reason you don't want to delete pins on Pinterest is because they compound. So the longer something is on Pinterest, the more traffic it will bring to your website. So if a pin the design is not really performing for you, leave it, but just don't use that design again in the future. And you can always update the content that the page is pinning to. So if you're not really using that blog post anymore, or the content is no longer relevant, you can update the content, but don't delete the pin. So it's always better to update the content that the pin is pointing to. If you set aside a couple of hours twice a year to spring clean your profile, it's just a good idea to help you stand out. It's a good idea to understand what's working and what's not working, and what keywords that you should be using to stay relevant during that season of Pinterest. Okay, now for the big thing, pinning. So, sorry guys, this is how to spring clean your profile. So you do your keyword research. This is to make sure that you are using new keywords, what's growing now on the platform, what are people searching for now, and how does that fit into your profile. Then clean up your boards. This can just mean getting rid of boards, hiding boards, or creating new boards for new content. Evaluate your designs. Is one of them flopping, or is one of them outperforming the rest? And then look for broken links and make sure you fix them. So if you were at one point sharing an affiliate link that you're no longer sharing anymore, make sure that you fix that. If your affiliate program has changed and they're no longer using that form of linking, make sure that you have updated those links so that you're always driving people to the right place. So it's really, really important to just at least once a year, if not twice, make sure all of your links are right. Okay. Now let's talk about our pins. I want to share a little bit of Pinterest terminology with you. A pin is what we call a post on Pinterest. It can be an image or a design. It can even be a video. A repin is what it's called when you share someone else's content to your profile. For example, if you are planning a trip to Greece and you want to share someone's Santorini itinerary, you want to save that so that you can find it later, you would save that pin or repin it to your profile. Now, outbound link click means that the user has clicked on your pin to leave Pinterest. This is what we want. They are going to Pinterest to visit your website, which means that you are now getting traffic to what belongs to you, to what you own. And this has been newly added to idea pins. And that is something that we are going to talk about because it's very, very exciting. And then lastly, a pin click. This is just when someone has clicked on your pin to make it big. So when you're scrolling through the Pinterest feed and you click on a pin to read it more or to learn more about it, that is a pin click. Now, really quick before I move on, the question of repinning. I get this question a lot. Repinning used to be a major Pinterest strategy that has changed in the last couple of years. When I talk about repinning, I'm talking about what us as bloggers are doing, not what Pinterest users are doing. Pinterest users are still repinning, but Pinterest marketers like myself and bloggers are not. For the most part, bloggers are sharing new content that is entirely their own. Around 2019, Pinterest came out and said they wanted new content. Their definition of new content was content that is new to the Pinterest platform. So that meant you could take an old blog post, you could create entirely new pins for it, and it would count as new content on Pinterest. So what people took this to mean is that they should create new content and stop repinning old content. Now, that's just a quick explanation. I want to share with you what I'm doing. For the last couple of years, I've been following this crowd of new content, and I have been not repinning to my profile or to my clients' profiles. However, this year, starting in 2023, I have brought back repinning. I've brought back the collaborative element of Pinterest, where I will share other people's content as long as it is not competing with me. So, for example, I would never share someone else's SafetyWing affiliate. But if someone else has written an incredible blog post about traveling in a country I've never been to, I might share that because it is relevant, it is helpful content for my audience, but it does not compete with my own. And it's a way to stay relevant, use group boards, use Tailwind communities if you're on Tailwind, and be able to stay relevant and get engagement in those communities. So don't be afraid of repinning. Just repin with a strategy so you don't share competing content and you only really share high quality content from bloggers that you love. And it can be a great way to collaborate with bloggers on the platform, friends of yours, just people who you have in the online space. Now let's talk about new content. So we have a couple of different kinds of pins. There are idea pins, standard pins, and ads. We are not going to talk about ads in this class because in this class, I'm not going to show you how to run ads, but we will talk about standard and idea pins. Standard pins are the pins we have always had on Pinterest. They are 2:3 ratio, 2:3 ratio. They link back to your website. They can be graphics, photos, carousels, videos. I've shown you a few examples here from my own profile of pins I have shared. Collages of images, that's a standard pin I've made, just images of myself or pin graphics like these two that I've shared with you here. Standard pins are the best way to share your day-to-day content on Pinterest. And they're going to be where you share each blog post that you write, every photo that you want to share, every video that you've created, and every carousel of images from your recent blog post or even recent trip. They are the bread and butter of your account. When it comes to your pinning strategy, you're going to want to share anywhere from 1 to 4 standard pins a day. And that is so much less than what we used to recommend, but always think about quality over quantity when it comes to Pinterest because there's so much already on Pinterest. So think about how you can bring quality to the platform. And if that's sharing 1 pin a day, great. If that is a very high quality 1 pin a day, that is incredible. You have done it. That's perfect. And then this is going to be the first place that you're sharing your affiliate links. So number 1 rule, always disclose affiliate links, both on the pin, not on the pin design, but in the pin description, and always disclose affiliate links on your website. So something that you need to know, you do not need to have a blog to grow on Pinterest, but having a blog really helps you with that SEO, search engine optimization side of Pinterest. So something that you need to know about Pinterest is that it's a very cold audience. You have your warm audience, which I think would typically be an Instagram audience who watches your stories every day. They really know you. They know how you drink your coffee because you share it with them every day. Then you have a hot lead, which is your email list. People on your email list are very hot leads. They are the people that you can sell to the easiest. Pinterest is the exact opposite of that. They are your coldest lead. So pinners are an incredibly cold audience because they likely don't know anything about you. They have just been given your content by Pinterest. Pinterest has come to them and said, this is the answer to the question that you were looking for. So by sharing blog posts, you are actually giving your user time to warm up to you. You're giving them a little insight into who you are, into the affiliate product that you're sharing, and why that person should use it. Why do you love it? Why is it helpful for you? By giving people a blog post to learn more, or a video, it can also be a YouTube video, but it's you taking control of a very cold audience and you saying, hey, I know you know nothing about me, but this is why I love this product. This is why this product is helpful for me. And so through your blog or through your YouTube videos or however you are educating your audience, you're actually going to be warming them up, which is why with these standard pins, I always recommend that they go to a YouTube page or a blog page, or you can even create a landing page with more information for the affiliate link. So if you're not going to be blogging, but you want to share, for example, SafetyWing affiliate link for digital nomad insurance, then you can make sure that they're going to a landing page that has plenty of information to do the warming up of the audience so that they know exactly what they're getting from this product that you're recommending. So you can definitely create a pin for every single affiliate product that you want to share. And with affiliates, the more people who see your content, the more clicks that you get, the more likely you are to get sales. So it's definitely a good strategy to make sure you're sharing your affiliate links in these standard pins. Now, let's talk about idea pins. Idea pins are new. I say that very lightly because they're not new anymore, but they are the new type of Pinterest content. They started as a way for Pinterest to create a scrolling video feed, similar to TikTok and Instagram Reels. When you just go and scroll on the platform, Pinterest wanted that. So they're changing with the times. The most exciting new feature on idea pins is that we can add links to them, which means they have just become incredibly valuable for you as a blogger or an affiliate marketer. They are a way, so Pinterest created them as a way to keep users on the platform. It's an idea pin, and their concept behind it was share the full idea. So in this first idea pin I shared with you, it's 7 incredible hikes in Big Cottonwood Canyon in Utah. That is a blog post, but I took all the content out of the blog post and I put it into an 8-slide graphic. That means that people do not need to visit my blog to get this information. And that is not great for a blogger who wants blog traffic, obviously. So that was Pinterest's kind of strategy here. They wanted you to be able to stay on Pinterest and not leave and not go to the user's website. So that was the idea, to kind of basically recreate the full idea of your blog post on Pinterest. However, they've finally given us links, which means you don't technically have to do that anymore. You can now link people to your website, which is exactly what we want to be using Pinterest for. So they were truly meant to be Pinterest-centered content, but they don't have to be anymore. They're also the best way to share affiliate links because of product tagging, which I will show you. As for the strategy, before we get into product tagging, you want to be able to share at least 2 to 3 idea pins a week. So like I said, you want to be sharing at least 1 to 4 standard pins a day. You want to be sharing 2 to 3 idea pins a week. Idea pins are the best way to get reach because you're going to be able to show up in that scrolling discover feed. You'll be in that very addictive way to just scroll and consume content. People will see your content there when you're creating idea pins. But whatever you do, pick a schedule that you can be consistent with. So if you can post consistently 2 idea pins a week or 5 idea pins a week, make sure it's a strategy that you can stick with for 6 months. I will always talk about Pinterest strategy in the timeline of 6 months because you need to give the platform plenty of time. I always tell people it's a slow grower. So give your content, give your strategy 6 months before you really change things. So if you can post 2 idea pins a week for 6 months, that is a perfect strategy. If you can post 5 for 6 months, that's a big commitment. But if you can do that, then that is a good strategy. So pick something. Your consistency needs to matter more than your frequency. So let's talk about affiliate links. So I already shared that you can do affiliate links through your blog posts and create standard pins. But the really cool thing with Pinterest is they're trying to help us make more money on the platform. So here's an example of how you can use an affiliate link as an idea pin. The steps are, you go into Pinterest and you create an idea pin. You upload your images or your videos. Then in the very bottom here, you are going to click on the button that says stickers. When you click on the sticker, you can click on product, and then it's going to let you either search pins or use a link. Here, you're going to grab your affiliate link. Grab your affiliate link and search it as a product. This is going to be based on the fact that the affiliate you're sharing has products on Pinterest. So any major store is going to be on Pinterest. And the time you're going to struggle with this is when it's more niche things. So if you're sharing a friend's online course, or you're sharing a way to book flights, that's not going to work in this way. You are going to have to do those affiliates as standard pins or just standard linking. But when you are sharing an affiliate product, this is the fastest and easiest way to make money. So you'll add your link, and then the product will come up. You can see here, it came up as lasso boot. Now you can change the color, you can edit that however you want. And then when you go on, Pinterest is going to prompt you to say, are you sharing an affiliate link or sponsored product? Always toggle that to yes. You are always going to want to disclose your affiliate links. So like I said, when it comes to sharing products that you love, for example, your packing cubes or your favorite suitcase or any of these products, this is the way to do it on Pinterest. When it comes to sharing Skyscanner for booking flights, you're going to want to just share the link directly in your pin. But when it comes to those products that you love, this is the best way to use affiliate links on Pinterest to really make money. So the reason we're able to do this is because Pinterest has actually released these new tools to help us make money. So this new product tagging, it used to be if you were Target and you were selling your products on Pinterest, you could tag your products. But they have since opened that up to creators, and now you can use that to share your affiliates. So there are benefits to sharing your affiliate links in both of these ways. Like I said, in this way, you can share products. And in the other way, you can share a blog post that warms your audience up. So the idea with idea pins is it's going to be more people seeing your idea. You're going to have a higher volume of people clicking on that pin, but that higher volume of people is going to be that cold audience. So you really want to make sure you have a strategy in place for both. So for example, this coastal cowgirl, it's not my content, obviously. I am a travel blogger, but it is a affiliate pin that I made for a client. And we shared it here as an affiliate product, but we also shared it as a standard pin going to her coastal cowgirl guide and blog post. So we have two ways here. We are trying to get this pin seen by as many people as possible. And we also have a blog post to warm up her audience and share even more information. So those are your two ways and your two strategies that you are going to want to share affiliate links on Pinterest. But let's talk about the rules, because if you violate the rules, you will very quickly get kicked off the platform. So you need to know the rules. Always make sure that you are following the platform rules. I'm going to jump over to talk about the rules, and then we'll go back to those. Number one is no cloaking. Affiliate marketers often disguise their affiliate links with redirection tools. Pinterest very clearly states, we encourage you to follow a no surprise principle. Pinners should be able to see exactly where they're going to be taken. Next up, disclose your affiliate links. We talked about this. The Federal Trade Commission has a strict rule on disclosing affiliate links. So always err on the side of caution by labeling your affiliate links as sponsored or affiliated. And then lastly, only operate one Pinterest account. Some marketers in the past have tried to game the system. This is against the platform guidelines. You need to have one account, and you need to only be pinning to that one account. Now, create multiple pieces of content for each post. I usually have a rotation of 5 to 10 pin templates for each blog, for each client. That can be to share affiliate links, to share YouTube videos, to share freebies, to share everything. The best way to create eye-catching content is to keep it simple. I know that you love that script font, but it is very hard to read on Pinterest. So use big, bold, and easy to read headings. Use images where you're facing away from the camera, because then it helps people be able to imagine themselves in your content. And then play around with bright colors and edits, and play around with not sharing photos at all. Play around with just sharing big, bold titles that say, hey, I'm going to teach you about this. Lastly, analyze your pin performance. So you want to do this with all affiliate marketing, because you want to know what's working and what's not working. So metrics to keep in mind while you are analyzing how things are working is your click-through rate. what percentage of people are seeing your pin and clicking on it? And do certain types of pins get more clicks? Pay attention to the time on the website. So this is how long people are coming to spend on your website from Pinterest. You want to have a high time on site and a low bounce rate, which indicates that the content you're sharing is valuable for your audience. And then your conversions. So pay close attention to those that you've heavily promoted, if they have good sales or if they have no sales. Balance your content strategy with this in mind. Okay, so really quickly, I want to share 3 strategies to help you stand out above the noise. So number 1, use the Pinterest scheduler and schedule your pins in advance. Scheduling pins in advance maximizes your chance of reaching users when they're online. And forget about using tools like Tailwind. Yep, you heard it here first. Forget about using tools like Tailwind. Instead, pin with Pinterest. Pinterest is constantly updating their Pinterest scheduler, so use that. And Pinterest is going to reward you for it, because on the Pinterest platform, you can add alt text, you can really edit your content. And like I said, you're using Pinterest. So focus on scheduling your content directly in Pinterest. I used to require my clients have Tailwind, and I don't do that anymore. We don't have to pay for any additional tools. We do everything through Pinterest these days. Next up, create content specifically for Pinterest. I know that you probably hear that and you've grown because you already have so much content to create. But if you want to stand out and you really want to grow on Pinterest, create for Pinterest. So focus when it comes to content for Pinterest, less on what's trending on Instagram. If there's a trending sound, that's great for Instagram. It's not great for Pinterest. Instead, for Pinterest, share voiceover content, share educational content, share content where you are showing your face and really talking to your Pinterest audience. Even if you can just create one piece of content where you are talking to your Pinterest audience once a month, that is going to help you stand out above people who are just resharing their TikToks and Reels, because that is what most people are doing. So the easiest way to stand out is to do something different. And I can't believe I'm even going to tell you this, but my biggest secret weapon is Pinterest Trends. The new Pinterest Trends feature is literally going to tell you what's trending on Pinterest. So this is Pinterest Trends. With Pinterest Trends, they are literally going to give you your keywords. It's insane. It's so helpful. So I did a quick search here on digital nomad, and you can see that it's up 20% from last year. That means if you're creating content around being a digital nomad, people are searching for that term more. You can see that if you created content for a summer bucket list, that is up by 10,000%. So that is content to be creating. You can organize these trends through growing trends, which just means what's upcoming, yearly trends, how that trend performs year on year, monthly trends, and then seasonal trends, which are your seasons. So then you can basically see how did this perform last year? How is it performing this year? How did it perform last month? How is it performing this month? It's an amazing way to basically get Pinterest to tell you what to create. So definitely start using Pinterest Trends. I promise it. It's been a game changer for me. And then, like I said, I've got a secret number 4, and I know you might think this is a little bit lame, but be intentional with the affiliates that you share on Pinterest. There's a lot of spam on Pinterest as a platform, so make sure that you're researching and choosing products that you love and that you know your audience will love. So we've got another poll from Sam. She is going to put up a poll now that just shares which one of these secrets to help you stand out above the noise feels like it's the most relevant to you, or which one that appeals to you the most when it comes to your Pinterest strategy. So go ahead and answer that poll, and we'll see which one of these. It doesn't have number 4 in it because that was a secret one I just added, but just be intentional with what you're sharing on Pinterest. Okay, wow, that was a lot. Thank you guys so much. I feel like there is so much more that I could share and teach you about Pinterest because it's just an insane platform. It has so much room for growth. There's so much opportunity to really start using the platform to grow your blog and your business. So make sure that you start using Pinterest today. And if you have any questions, I am your go-to girl. You can ask me anything about Pinterest anytime. Okay, so now I talked a lot during this presentation about the SafetyWing Ambassador Program because it's an incredible affiliate program to get started with. It has basically no commitments. You just sign up and you're able to share your affiliate link. And it's honestly such an easy way to sort of get your toes wet with sharing affiliate marketing on Pinterest. So if you're not already, you should look into joining the SafetyWing Ambassador program because it's such an awesome tool. And like I said, it can be the first affiliate that you start sharing on Pinterest. Okay, now, which strategy stood out to you guys the most? Okay, we've got a little bit of both here. So creating compelling graphics, utilizing keyword optimization techniques. I promise you guys that one is going to help you stand out so well. And engaging with the Pinterest community. That's what I was talking about with repins. So if you haven't been repinning, this is a really good opportunity to start doing it. Okay, that's that, you guys. Thank you so much. So I think we have a Q&A now.
Great job.
Thank you. Oh, that was so much information. Thank you for sticking with me, you guys.
You rocked it. Do you need a sip of water? I know what it can be to talk for, 40 minutes straight and keep up with that energy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a couple questions here. One that came to mind for sure from me and some of our team is, you know so much information about Pinterest. That was like very clear and evident from your presentation. How are you staying up to date on the latest trends as things are changing with Pinterest marketing? Any resources or newsletters or just any guides that we can point people towards?
So I get a lot of my information directly from Pinterest. Pinterest has a creator community, and they'll send you an email every week if you can stand it. They'll send you weekly guides, they'll send you monthly guides, and they're a really great way to see like what's upcoming. When they closed their creator program, that was the first place you saw it. When they started allowing affiliate links, that was the first place you saw it. So being able to use that platform and just basically going to Pinterest to get that information. I also say it's such a big platform. One of the best things you can do is just try. Like put out your stuff, and if it flops, it flops. If it doesn't flop, keep doing that. So I always experiment on my account first. As a Pinterest marketer, I have to make sure that my clients are getting the best results. But on my account, I can say like, oh, cool, let's try this style of graphic. Let's see if it works. So don't be afraid to just sort of put content out there and pay attention to what Pinterest is saying, because that's going to be your best resource for kind of news and strategies and things like that.
Awesome. Okay. Jenny has some questions about the TikTok concept that we were talking about. So is it okay to just take a TikTok video and upload it without sound to Pinterest? Are people listening to music or sounds on Pinterest, or is it visual only?
It's better if you can upload the sound. One thing I have noticed is that Pinterest has started to take down some sounds. So because like a sound on, if you make a video on TikTok, the sound is usually available on TikTok. If you then take that sound off TikTok and put it on Pinterest, Pinterest might say like, oh, you can't use that sound. So what I recommend is adding Pinterest sounds. They're not nearly as good. They're not as good. I will be the first to say that. Pinterest is like way behind the times in music rights. But if you have a TikTok and it has no sound, go on and just pick instrumental Pinterest music and put like a little instrumental Pinterest music in the background. Put it on like quiet. People might listen to it with sound. They might listen to it with their volume off, but utilize that Pinterest sound to kind of like get yourself some bonus points with them.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And yes, Rosanna, this recording will be up on our YouTube channel, and you can actually see all of the webinars we've done for the last, I think, 4 or 5 months now. We've had a weekly webinar with amazing ambassadors and experts like Justyn. So check those out there. Okay, Noreen has a question about what about branding on your Pinterest profile? Does that have to be consistent as well, or can you play around with branding visuals?
So I've totally shifted on this year. I used to say, use your brand. You want to be noticeable. But this year, especially with one specific client, we have started using that platform's branding. So for example, she writes a lot of content about TikTok and Instagram. I have actually started using TikTok's colors, like TikTok branding colors on her content. So I'm not using her brand colors. I'm using like Instagram's, like picking colors out of little Instagram logo and playing around with like basically taking the branding away from her content. And it's been a really effective strategy. So I would say one thing to try is neutralize your branding. If you have a brand with a ton of colors, neutralize it. Take out a lot of those colors and use like a soft white, use a big black font, like make your content a little bit more neutral and just play around with this. This might work for you, or you might have incredible branding that really draws people in. but yeah, don't be afraid to say like, oh, I'm a bit tired of my branding, or this pin doesn't look great with my branding, and pull branding from what the content's about. You and pull branding from like more of a neutral aspect, and just play around, because that kind of stuff really could perform really well for you, like we've seen with one of my clients.
So really making the aesthetic relevant to that piece of content. So making it
Yeah,
content specific versus complementing other types of content. That's really how Pinterest
yeah,
works. Okay,
yeah.
awesome. So helpful. And this is more of a fact question, a stat. So Renata wants to know, do you know how many users Pinterest has in total? I know you spoke a lot about trends, about how men is the fastest growing demographic and it's primarily women. Did you share the number on total Pinterest users?
So Pinterest shares their users in terms of like on a monthly aspect. I don't know if all platforms do that, but right now, Pinterest has about 455 million active users every month. So that's kind of how they share the statistics.
Amazing. Okay, that's super helpful. And Noreen wants to know, so if we have a business profile on Pinterest, do we have to have a website? Like, is that a mandatory field that we need to link that through, or can we just play around with Pinterest just for branding, I guess, and not really driving traffic to a site?
Yeah, so you can absolutely do it without a website. So you don't need
Nice.
to link a website in there. You can just share content that links to affiliates or to your Instagram page as
Mhm.
well. And just play around with sharing pretty things on Pinterest and growing a Pinterest audience, because that's also a strategy to work with brands and grow a business.
Would you say that if you're not linking it anywhere, you're kind of missing the opportunity, or could somebody play around with Pinterest just for the sake of playing around and keeping people on the Pinterest platform, maybe brand recognition for what's featured in the content itself, creating a following there? Or do you think the biggest potential is to use it as a traffic driver somewhere else?
The biggest potential is definitely to use it as a traffic driver. You will
Okay,
have to add a link to your pin. You don't have to add a link to your profile, but your pins, they will need a link.
every single
So
pin.
yeah, so that's what I mean. The opportunity to link to an affiliate or to link to an Instagram page or a YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be a blog, it doesn't have to be a website, but you do need to send the content somewhere. If you're doing idea pins and you don't want to add links, don't add links, and just build brand recognition and share pretty things on Pinterest through idea pins. Those don't need links.
Idea pins. Okay, that's helpful. What else do we have? Okay, so Jenny's very excited about the canceling the Tailwind account. I think you really got people pumped up there. How do they still get the community aspect though?
I would say, and this is something I'm seeing this year a lot more, is people are bringing group boards back. So find some high quality group boards. I think people are kind of craving that collaborative element that we used to get on Pinterest. It went away. We all kind of want it back. So I've been collaborating a lot more on group boards. And I found that group boards are starting to revive themselves. So if you've found really good Tailwind communities and you want to stay on Tailwind for that, great. But if there are other reasons and you just want to be pinning directly on Pinterest, there are some group boards out there that are coming back. And I think we're going to see that a lot more. I predict that. So we'll kind of see how that plays out.
Amazing. You heard it here first. Okay, couple more questions. So going
Mhm.
through your own Pinterest, there's definitely some content that has words on it and some content that has text and then some content that's just graphics. Anything that you've observed in terms of what types perform better than others?
Yes. So I always find that graphics perform the best, even graphics that don't have a photo. So I shared that best hikes in Cottonwood Canyon that didn't even have a photo, and I'm like a travel blogger, so I take a ton of photos, and I want to share my photos, and I'll share them. But when I share them, it's almost like it's filler content. It's just to say like, look, I also have pretty pictures, and I post a lot, and I post frequently, and but my content that performs the best is going to be just text. It's going to be graphics. It's going to say like, hi, this is what I'm teaching you, or this is what I'm giving you. That content is the most savable, it's the most shareable, and those metrics that we focus on other platforms are really relevant to Pinterest as well. So if it's getting lots of saves, that means it's a good thing. And that's definitely for me on my account, that's mostly like graphics.
Amazing. Okay, final question. What are some common mistakes that you've noticed Pinterest marketers make that they should avoid?
Spamming. And that's kind of what goes back to what I was saying with keyword stuffing as well. It's such an outdated strategy to just be like digital nomad insurance, travel insurance, like to just list everything like that and not to write it in a way that's readable to the user. It's something that I think people are starting to catch up on, but I would say that kind of concept of creating for the platform versus creating for the user. That's a common mistake that I see a lot. And I think we need to watch out for that. We need to use Pinterest to create for the person. Think about the person who's reading that content. Does that sound nice? Is it readable? Is it helpful? If it's not, then that's a big strategy to avoid. So I'd say the biggest mistake I always see people making is just that outdated kind of creating for Pinterest, because you want as many people as possible to see your pin. But some of my best performing pins got seen by 200 people, but they got 100 clicks. So, or 100 saves. So it's like every person who saw it is deciding that this content is valuable for them. And that matters way more. People focus on the view metric more than they should. So when you land on someone's profile and it goes, whoa, 4 million views, their profile must be huge. But if no one saves their content and no one clicks on it, and they're not getting affiliate sales, and they're not getting YouTube views, and they're not getting email signups, it's like, what is the end game of this strategy? Is it just for people to see you, or is it for people to take action? So focusing on the important metrics of like, what content is getting me a save? How did I write that? How did I craft that pin? What was my strategy for the keyword there? Making sure that there's a tail-end strategy behind just lots of pretty pictures and people seeing them. So yeah, I would say really focus on your metrics, pay attention to what is getting you engagement, and then just make sure to always create for your user. If you wouldn't like to read it, they probably wouldn't like to read it. So make sure that you've got them in mind, because at the end of the day, if you're helping Pinterest users, Pinterest is going to help you. So just keep in mind that that's kind of the way the game works.
I love that. And I think that's so applicable to any platform that we're creating content on, right? I imagine people listening to this, you're likely marketing on more than just Pinterest, and always just having that user in mind. It's so easy to get caught up in the vanity metrics, and it's so easy to get down on ourselves when those vanity metrics aren't where they want to be in comparison. But really, like, what are the metrics that matter is what I'm hearing from you, and like really creating content to move the needle on those types of metrics. So thank you so much, Justyn. This has been amazing. We, love having experts like you come on and talk to our audience. It's just so valuable. So this has been recorded. And like I said, all of our videos are on YouTube. So please check some of those out. And if you want to join our ambassador community and connect with amazing experts like Justyn, you can do that. We've included the link. I'll do that one more time. And you could be earning affiliate income through your pins or through your content as well. Thank you, Justyn. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.